So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's kind of weird to videotape myself riding up and down on the trails of Cedar Rapids. But I know I got a few weird looks, but you know, in the end, it was kind of fun to put it all together. It was something new. I thought I'd try. Usually shoot videos with my GoPro, but you could tell that video is done with the Nikon D750. So thought I'd try something new with that. I've never done a lot of videos with it. So if you can't tell by now, yes, I got finally a new bike, the Kona Sutra. So here's the story on how I got that. Now, it's been 3 years in the making. It's taken a long time. I mean, a long time to get this bike. Saved, lost the savings, saved, lost the savings type thing happening. I figured this year, after having to replace the front wheel and getting kind of nervous because this bike that I borrowed from my friend John's, the bike has sentimental value, and if anything happened to that bike, you know, and it was destroyed, I would feel crushed. There's no amount of money that would have replaced that. So I started getting motivated this end of last year, beginning of this year, to really try to get that money saved up and buy the bike that I wanted. The year before that, I had looked at the type of bikes that I wanted. I definitely wanted a touring bike. I narrowed it down to 3 different types of bikes that I was really interested in. I had 5 chosen, but 3 I was very interested in. One was the Kona Sutra, the other one was a Surly long haul trucker, and the third one, if I had the money, was the Trek 520. Kona Sutra has always been the first of my choice. I just thought it was a really nicely built, sturdy bike. All of them are, but this one there was just something about it I thought was really, really cool. So I figured that's the one I would try first. Again, it's equipment, it's transportation, it's like a camera. I've been shooting cameras for a very long time, and one thing I've always learned is it doesn't matter if you're a Canon or a Nikon or a Pentax user. If the camera doesn't fit in your hands, you're not going to like the camera. So the Kona Sutra looked like it could fit under my ass, and I was going to like it, but I didn't really know, and I really wanted to try it out. So flash forward again to early part of this year, I needed to motivate myself a little bit more on trying to get the money saved. So I went down to Goldfinch and took a look at what they had down there. I'd done all the internet sort of research on geometry and the gear ratios and all that type of stuff, but I needed to actually touch the bike. Maybe that would motivate me a little bit more. That was part of the thinking. That, and because there wasn't going to be a lot of bikes in circulation in the sense to buy, I thought I would also take a look to see what they have and decide whether or not the Kona Sutra was it, or maybe there was something else that was a little bit more closer to what I wanted, or my next choice in case I couldn't get the Kona Sutra. So I went down there, and of course they didn't have a Kona Sutra. The one that I do remember they had was the Kona, and I can't remember what the name of the bike is, but it's like the Sutra, but it was a gravel version. Now, I don't mind gravel bikes. I think they're pretty cool, but they don't have everything that I want. Some people make it work for them. I wanted the racks, and I wanted the fenders type thing. There's nothing like going to work on a rainy day and then getting there and finding a nice, dirt stripe up your back. So fenders were kind of important in that way. And again, touring bikes make great commuters. So I figured I'd get something that I can use all the time. I wanted to stop driving the car, in this case the truck, and wanted to ride the bike. So again, going down there, spent about an hour down there asking questions, looking at the bikes. Like I said, I saw the Kona one that was for the gravel. Was happy with what answers I got, but I didn't see the Kona Sutra, and I had some ideas of maybe what my alternatives were. So now, coming up to spring, tax time came around, and one of the things that we were doing is squirreling money away in case we took a big hit in taxes. I mean, we do what we can to avoid that, but some things had happened and that we thought, well, we may be taking a big hit. So we were squirreling money away together, more her, and some of that was stimulus checks that, well, pretty much all of them were getting shoved into the savings account. So tax time rolls around, we get it back. Turns out we didn't have to worry about a thing. We got some money back, and then we were happy. Not a lot of money, but we got a little bit of money back. We were happy. So we did the thing that you're not supposed to do. We rated our savings, and we went ahead and decided to purchase some reasonable amount of items, reasonably priced items, for ourselves as a treat, because we both work in healthcare and it's been hell for us, and we wanted to treat ourselves. She got her thing, I got a bike. So with the money that I had, I figured I'd go down to Goldfinch again and see what they had. I was going to actually test ride things. It was time to test ride, get my seat on a seat and see what I liked. So I went down there and I talked to the guy and said, look, the one thing that I'm really first interested in is the Kona Sutra. Do you have one? He says, yeah, I got one. So we went to the back. He says, what do you think you take? And I said, I'm a 52 centimeter. He says, look, this is a 54, but why don't you take a look at it, kind of sit on it a little bit, see what you think on it. So I sat on it, picked it up, kind of got a feel for it. And I said, yeah, I really think that this one is it. I mean, it felt really good. I love the features of it. The coolest thing I like about it is the friction gear shifters on the ends of the handlebars. You know why? Because it reminds me of the Suicide shifters. The ones that are on the down tube. I had a Fuji road bike that had Suicide shifters, and I also have a Paramount, that's just way too big, I think it's 58 centimeters, a Paramount, Schwinn Paramount, sorry, I'm saying that wrong, a Schwinn Paramount that has Suicide shifters. I always liked them. So having those at the handlebars was it. So I picked out this Kona Sutra, and he says, look, I got another one downstairs, but I don't know how big it is, and I don't know if it's something that's been taken. So let me go look. About 5-10 minutes later, he comes up and says, it's perfect. It's a 52 centimeter. It's good to go, but we need to find out before we're totally set on it if it's got a name on it. And lo and behold, it didn't. It did not have a name on it. This was meant to be. Just one of those things. It was meant to be. I said, well, go ahead and get it built. I'll put some money down. He didn't need to do that, he said, but he said, I'll have it done in about a week and a half. So they went ahead and they got it. I even took some pedals off, brought it down to them so they could put the pedals on the bike. And a week and a half later, said it's ready to go. So I went down there, got on it for the first time. They had me take it a ride. It was perfect. I mean, there was really no adjustments that had to be made. So paid for it, got a new helmet, needed a new helmet, got a new helmet, and brought it home in the back of the F-150, and then got it ready for the inaugural ride, which you have been watching and listening to me babble, the inaugural ride to work. And let me tell you, it is so smooth, so quiet, and such a nice ride. It's everything that I wanted it to be. So that's it. That's the story of my Kona Sutra. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little bit of a shaggy dog story, but again, I hope people when they're starting to think about this summer and getting out and riding, I hope they start thinking about a new bike. If you are looking for a new bike and you're in the Cedar Rapids area, go down to Goldfinch. These guys will hook you up really well. So anyway, that's my story. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope everybody has a good day, and if you can, get out on your bike and ride. See you later.